Good morning. I'm coming to you today from one of my favourite parts in my yard, a little rose garden, and that's a little bit overgrown at the moment. And so I'm sure in these days where there's lots of things not going on, Janine's going to have me out here cleaning this part of the yard up. But that's not why I want to talk to you about my garden, but anyway, this is part of it. And I do want to talk to you about something at this time that I believe is really important. It's my faith and the simplicity of it. I was challenged this week by a friend of mine, and he asked me about messages that I would be looking at doing during this season of where we can't gather together as churches and things like that, and what was in my heart and those sorts of things. And I suppose the biggest thing that I want is people to know that God is with them and that God will never fail you. Even in these times of great change, I have always kept my faith really simple. I don't overcomplicate my walk with God. I try really hard not to overthink decisions that I've got to make, for positive or negative. I just tend to ask him. I talk to him because he says, ask of me and I will answer you. He says to me that he will guide me if I just trust him. And so I try not to overcomplicate that. I try to keep it as simple as I possibly can. And so when I ask him something, I don't try to keep it up and hold on to it anymore. I ask him, I leave it, and then I go about my duties and I go about my day. For example, I've applied for a few jobs over my life, and I've always, as a young man, I used to question, is this God, is it not God? Does he want me to do this? Does he not want me to do this? And as I'm sure many of you out there run through that situation yourself, is this God, is that not God? What do I, you tend to feel like you're a bit double-minded in all your ways. And he says, don't be like that. God actually tells us, don't be double-minded. He says, be solid on what you're doing. And so what I get solid in is him. I think, okay, God, you've got my best at heart. What do you want me to do? So for a job, I apply for it. If I get it, I walk in. If I don't get it, I move on. When I'm making decisions in my life, in my family, I start doing things. We've been looking at properties and things like that for, do we buy change a house or anything like that? Well, the answer is no right now, because now is not the right time. It's not the thing, and it's simple because I pray, say, God, is now the right time, and I just get this feeling or a sense in my heart that now just to hold back, or Janine and I don't agree on it, or something like that. And so that's how I keep my faith simple. The minute there's conflict in it, I stop, I breathe, I step back, and I breathe, and I go, God, you said you'd lead me, so I'm trusting you to lead me. And I suppose that's it, that you just got to step back, breathe at this time where it is absolutely nuts out there. Step back, breathe, and say, God, lead me in this. Maybe you're looking for some toilet paper right now and you need to get some because you just need it. And so step back, breathe, and say, God, just lead me. You never know where you might end up, and you never know who you might get to talk to, and you never know who you might get to share with. Because remember, in amongst all this, we're still the church. We're not the church meeting in four walls anymore. We are the church walking the streets. And so you never know if you just simply take a step back, breathe, say, God, where are you right now? And the peace that comes on with this is amazing. So that's me, that's today. And I'll come back again and I'll talk about other things that I help. And that's just a real nutshell one. But I want you to know this, that I'm really thinking about you today, that you'll be able to keep your life simple, and that you will be able to walk forward with God and say, God, lead me and my family through these times today. You know what? I'm praying for you today, and I'm praying that God will walk with you wherever you are. God bless, and have an awesome day.